You're listening to the WBT Podcast with Micah Lodge. Listen to all of our podcasts at www.wbtpod.com. Stay informed. Let's get started.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518 or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.
And welcome to the WBT. Thank you for joining me this morning. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning. It's a short week because of Labor Day that we just had, but I always like short weeks because it's that time where you can kind of sit back and relax, get back into the swing of things. I tell you, sometimes when you're trying to get back into the swing of things, you forget how to swing. In fact, sometimes you just don't even want to because you just want to stay in bed and relax and not have to think about the day-to-day grind. But if you are an entrepreneur, you have to think about a whole bunch of different things because owning your own business or company, you're constantly thinking. Entrepreneurship is a full-time job. It doesn't stop when you get home. It doesn't stop when you're on vacation. It continues. Many times I've been on vacation and getting a phone call that I had to deal with right then because of things that had happened with either an employee or with a client. Sometimes being an entrepreneur, you have to be on duty 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You don't want to be, but you have to be because you have to serve your clients. And that's when you start thinking about being an entrepreneur and what it takes to be an entrepreneur. And if you're starting on your entrepreneurial journey, I think you need to think about three basic elements that you need from the start as you get in your entrepreneurial car and zoom away. And it's really basics that you should never lose sight of along the way. One of them is remembering where you came from. I tell you, I think about that almost every single day. And I think that's how I run my business, as if something could happen any single day and put me right back at the very beginning, the very start of when I became an entrepreneur. Excuse me. So you always think about that. I never forget where I came from. When I first started this company and having very little money and so many things going on, I remember sleeping on the floor of my office. I remember selling my car, getting rid of it just so that I could meet my bills. I remember those days because I know if anything big should happen, I'm prepared for it because I've done it before. Despite the setbacks that I have had sometimes in business, I will never, ever give up. I will never want to go back to where I started from. Looking back through the years as I've become more and more successful at what I do, that mantra has helped me stay motivated to never go back. But there are times that you're going to have to deal with it again because every business, no matter what size of a business you are, will have a crisis that you're going to have to take care of. So my background and possibly your background helps you to remain grounded and humble. And that's what you have to do when you're in entrepreneurship. No matter how big you become, how big of a success you become, you have to remain grounded and humble. Because in the blink of an eye, everything can be taken away from you. I wasn't born into a wealthy family. But I was always asking myself back then, how can I succeed? How can I become a success? And part of that is by remaining humble and remembering those days when times were tough. And when that next tough time comes, next crisis comes, you are prepared. You can make it through anything. That's why I always tell people, make sure you have a crisis management policy so that you know in the back of your head exactly what you're going to do if anything should happen. What is your backup plan? And then the other side of it is exercise. Building that fighter's mentality all the time where you need to keep going, keep pounding, keep moving forward. And not only when you exercise, now I walk many, many miles a day. Right now I'm building a porch and I'm working from 9 a.m. until about 6 p.m. at night, trying to build this porch, which I've never done before in my life. Right now I'm at the point where I have to lift up 200-pound beams up 10 feet onto poles and put them into metal brackets. And I don't know if you've ever lifted a 200-pound dead weight beam. It is hard. If you want exercise, that is exercise. When you're building that thing, and I had to build my beams from scratch, it was exercise. But I found that after I was done at the end of the day, when I had to sit down and focus on my business, my mind was clear. It was ready to go. It was ready to deal with various issues that clients had left me in emails or voicemails, or issues happening in the office, personnel issues, ethics issues. My mind, after doing all that hard work during the day physically, I was ready for the evening and ready to start again. So when you exercise, it really does help. Now, when I'm in California, I walk about between 10 and 13 miles in the evening. Or in the morning, whenever I can find the time, or on the weekends. But when I'm walking, I have a very clean mind. And I'm walking and I'm focusing on all the various things around me. You would be surprised. Up in the Hollywood Hills where I walk, up by Lake Hollywood, you would be surprised how many deer is up there. Baby deer, big deer, coyotes, raccoons. In the middle of Los Angeles, as you overlook Capitol Records, up on those hills, is a whole set of wildlife that as you're walking around Lake Hodges, which is, I believe it's 3.4 miles around the lake. It's a beautiful walk. Has a lot of history there. You're up there in the Hollywood Hills, right under the Hollywood sign. But as you're walking and walking, trying to keep up a momentum, your mind is cleaned. It's a good experience. Walking, I tell you, it helps me so much to focus on solving issues and solving problems. And then the other issue that I found, especially as an entrepreneur, and I've had to deal with it lately, excuse me, if you hear me clearing my voice, I've been working outside and we have all this pollen that's coming down into the air, and it is getting into my lungs. Excuse me. And it is really bugging me. Right now we have the changing of the leaves here. And things are turning orange and yellow, and things are beginning to fall, and it's 90 degrees outside. So I think Mother Nature has gotten mixed up of what when it should drop its leaves, but it's dropping them and it's creating all this dust and havoc into my breathing system. But let's get back to the subject. And that is, one of the third parts of being an entrepreneur is surrounding yourself with really positive people, successful, or like-minded people, those that are on the same page. If you have an individual who has his own agenda, his or her own agenda, who it's all about them, it will fail every single time. Because they are no longer a team player, it is all about them. They're all encompassed about their needs and their name and their reputation and everything else. So they put the company to the side and it's always focused on them. So you have to surround yourself with really positive people. If I've had a lot of boxing clients and really big name clients. And if you want to be a good boxer, and if you want to go up against the local champion or the big champion in the boxing world, you may lose, but you'll learn a whole lot. If you want to succeed in business, you'll also need to learn from people who've done what you're trying to do. So you've got to surround yourself with people who have gone through it before, who have become a success, who are very positive about every single thing in life. I tell you, once you get one bad apple in your group, it destroys the whole productivity of that group or of that company. So by surrounding yourself with really positive people who knew more or who know more than you will be able to learn about business and real estate and manufacturing and whatever business that you're in, while getting the encouragement that you really need from these individuals. They've been there before. They can give you a positive spin on how to take care of situations. No matter what you're trying to do, surrounding yourself with like-minded and successful people can benefit you immensely, 10 times fold. The encouragement you'll get from people who have been successful, who have been there, who have done it, is very motivating. No matter what industry that you're in, surround yourself with the best people, the successful people, those that know more than you do. I've been there, I've done that, I'm still doing it. Think about it. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you're going to have to stay humble. You're going to have to set yourself into a motivational structure where you're exercising and cleaning out the mind and helping the body. And then you've got to surround yourself with positive, successful, and very like-minded people of what you're trying to do with your business. If you have any questions, send me an email at mlodge@lodge-co.com. And I will try and answer your question, or I will try and find you the answer to your question. But send me an email. Let's talk about it. Nothing wrong with it. This is Mike Lodge. I hope you are having a great day, and I will talk with you very, very soon.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518 or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.
Thank you for listening to the WBT with Michael Lodge. Join us again tomorrow as we explore more about business and taxes. Follow us on iHeartRadio and go to our podcast website at www.wbtpod.com and listen to all of our podcasts and read our blogs.